Unit circle is very important because it has value of cos and sine and for some known degrees. And whenever you solve some trigonometric problem, it's very important to remember a unit circle. So to memorize or remember a unit circle, what you need to do is first we'll draw a circle. So I make a larger circle here and divide my circle into 4 quadrants. Okay, so this is something you can do quickly. The vertical line is y-axis and the horizontal line is x-axis. So now we got 4 quadrants and we know that the 4 quadrants makes 4 degrees. Okay, this positive side makes 0 degree and this makes 90 degree. And if you move in anti-clockwise direction to the 3rd quadrant, or you make a turn and you cover 2 quadrants, first and second, you make 180 degrees. This is 180 degrees, and you move one more quadrant, this makes 270 degree, and finally if you make a full turn, that will be 360 degree. Now remember that the value of 0 degree and 360 are same. Okay, now we need to find the values for each degree, and any point on the circle is called x, y, because the point also correspond to the coordinate system. So it has a x value and also it has a y value. Okay, and if you make a line from center to that point, then this point, the length of this line is 1, and that is the reason it is known as, this circle is known as unit circle. Any point on the circle makes the radius is 1. Now knowing that, so each line makes an angle. This angle is known as theta, and x value of this point corresponds to cos theta, y value corresponds to sin theta. Okay, so we want to find the sin theta and cos theta, which is x and y coordinate on the circle, and to find this for each quadrant, we need to know the value of 0, 90, 180, 270 and 360. These are the angles we need to remember in order to find values of other degrees. Okay, it's very easy to remember because they range from -1 to 1. So we'll see that in a moment. First, x value for 0 degree, x value is 1 and y value is 0. You can see that, right? So x value is 1 because the radius is 1. So this x-axis is 1, the length of x-axis is 1, and y is 0. Similarly, if you go to 90 degree, the x value is 0, y value is 1. If you go to 180 degree, you can see that x value is -1 because it's on the negative side. The length of x-axis is 1 unit, so -1, and y is 0. And for 360 degree, you can see x value is 0, y value is -1 because It's 1 unit in the negative y direction. So now let me underline my core values, so the main values using which I'll find other values. So these are my 4 values. These are my 4 values for 0, 90, 180 and 270, and of course 360. How can I use these values to find other values? Okay, to find x and y value for other degrees, first you need to write x and write y. We make a small table here and write which quadrant you want to find values. So let me say first quadrant. First quadrant starts with 0 and ends at 90 degree, right? What are the degrees lie between 0 and 90? The known degrees are 30, 45 and 60. These are the known values. So 0 degree, x's value is 1, y value is 0. And for 90 degree, x value is 0, y value is 1. And all the middle values is something that we need to find. If you are starting from 1 and ending in 0, you must write 3, 2, 1. If you are starting from 0 and ending with 1, you should write 1, 2 and 3. And then divide by 2. Divide everything by 2. And do not divide 0 and 90 degree by 2. Only the middle values you should divide by 2. 2 square 2 and 3 square root 2 and 3, and you just found the values for 30, 45 and 60 degrees. Now you must decide the sign of these values, whether they are negative or positive. If you do not see the first value is negative and the last value is negative, there is no negative in first and last value, then the entire value is going to be positive. If there is a negative in first or the last value, then the rest of the value becomes negative. I will see some more example right now. This time we are going to find values in the second quadrant. Okay, how can we do that? So before we do that, let's remove this. I have to remove this a couple of times, so I hope you don't mind. Okay, this is why. So I'm in the second quadrant. I start from 90 and end at 180 degree. Okay, so what degree lie between 90 and 180? It's 90, 120, 135, 150 and then 180. So these are the angles between 90 and 180 which we like to find. At 90, x value is 0 and y value is 1, and at 180 x value is negative 1 and y value is 0. So we start from 0 to 1. That means we have to write 1, 2, 3, and we start from here 1 to 0. So we must write 2, 3 and 1. Divide everything by 2 except the last entries in the first one, 2, square root only 2 and 3, square root 3 and 2. I'm not doing the square of 1 because if you square 1, the result is going to be 1, because 1 square is square root of 1 square is equal to 1. So we're not squaring 1, and we know that it is going to be 1, so leave it as it is. Now here the first value is non-zero, the first value is 0, and the last value is negative. So the whole line, all the other values are going to be negative. The first value is non-negative, and the last value is also non-negative. So the whole value is going to be positive. Y is going to be positive in the second quadrant, which is true. So this is how you find values for second quadrant. Now suppose you want to find values for angles in the third quadrant. Once again, you remove everything. Write down the degrees. So this time I'm going to start from 180 to 270, and the middle values are 210, 225 and 240. So x value for 180 is -1, and at 270 the x value is 0. Y value at 180 is 0, and at 270 the y value is -1. So if we start from 1 and end at a 0, then we must write 3, 2, 1, and 0 to 1 is 1, 2, 3. Divide everything by 2. Square root 2 and 3. The numerator 3, square numerator 2. So now if you see the last value and the first value in x and y coordinates, you can see a negative value. So everything is negative in the third quadrant. Everything becomes negative. All values are negative. So I have negative square root of 3 divided by 2, negative square root of 2 divided by 2, negative 1 by 2. These are values in third quadrant. So I encourage you to find coordinate values for fourth quadrant on your own. I leave it as an exercise for you. So I hope you like this video. I'll make more videos on mathematics in future. Thank you very much for watching.